There once was a young musician who lived in Paris. His name was Gabriel. He was a very talented flute player, but his music did not bring him enough money to live. So he worked all day in a violin maker's workshop, sweeping the floor and cleaning the tools. The workshop was on the hill of Montmartre, from where Gabriel had a nice view over Paris. Whenever he had a free moment, Gabriel would take his flute and go outside to play. The birds loved his graceful notes and often perched themselves above him to listen to his music. People passing by sometimes stopped for a moment and tossed money to him. Music was Gabriel's passion, but his real love was the milliner's daughter. Her name was Violet, and indeed she was as pretty as a flower could be. Every time Gabriel played, Violet would come and stay for a long while with him. They would not even talk. Gabriel playing his flute, and Violet admiring the view of the roofs of Paris, sometimes until sunset. Violet's father was a very prosperous milliner. People came from all over to buy his beautiful hats, and his store was often packed with a most distinguished crowd. He was especially famous for his use of feathers. The plumes of ostriches, peacocks, and exotic birds often contributed to his creations. He used their multicolored feathers to decorate the hats of many elegant Parisian ladies. Faithful customers persuaded the milliner to take part in an international hat contest organized by the city of Paris. Those participating had to create the most extravagant hat using the most natural materials. With his talent and his fabulous feather collection, the milliner was sure to win the grand prize. With such a successful business, the milliner had high expectations for his daughter's prospects. He secretly dreamt of a rich baron to marry Violet, and so he did not approve of Violet and Gabriel's relationship. Busy as he was, finishing his hat for the contest, the milliner still kept an eye on his daughter, and tried, as best he could, to keep her away from the penniless flute player. The night before the great contest, the milliner did not sleep well. He had nightmares about the other contestants and the jury, picturing them in ridiculous situations. Despite an agitated sleep, the milliner did not hear when a thief broke into his apartment and found his way to the workshop downstairs. When the milliner woke up the next morning, he realized what had happened and shouted for help. But it was too late. The thief was gone. All his feathers and precious materials had been stolen. The milliner was devastated.
What am I going to do? They took all my feathers, even the one I had put on the hat for the contest. I am finished.
Do not be so sad, Father. You still have your talent. You will buy other feathers, and your business will go on.
You don't understand. For the contest, it's too late. The presentation is this morning. There is no way I can find feathers now with all the contestants already in the city. And I certainly can't win the competition with what is left of my hat.
And he showed her the bare straw base the thief had left behind. At that very moment, Gabriel arrived at the store. Violet told him what had happened and why his father was so desperate. Gabriel made an offer to the milliner. Maybe I can help you.
You can help me? But how?
Do not ask questions. Just promise me that if I help you win the grand prize, you'll let me marry your daughter. The milliner hesitated for a moment, then finally accepted the flute player's offer, thinking that, after all, he might not be such a terrible son-in-law if he could really help him win the hat contest. The three of them took what was left of the hat and rushed to the Grand Palais, where the contest was taking place.